I am live. It tells me I am live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream without Aaron. So weird to be without Aaron, but I am without Aaron. I've done it before. I'm a big girl. I can do it without Aaron. So far, so good. We have Stacy. Hello, Stacy. And thank you for the question. You're already in there and you're already, well, you've been visiting my brain since I noticed your question at 3:21 because I was sitting here. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Hello, Carrie. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Hello, Sue. Hello, Stacy. Other Stacy, another Stacy, more than one Stacy. Oh my God. See, I need Aaron. I need my roots. Diane. Hello. Hello, Marty. How are you? Oh, good. Okay. Hello, Tanya. Oh, goodness. Okay. So many people. Oh, hello, Carrie. I'm just going to say hello to people as they come on. And then I'm going to get right to you, Stacy. Hello, Haley. Isn't that a great name? Hello, Rosemary. Hello, how are you? Can I move on? Oh, yeah. Hello, Barbara. Bah. How are you? Good to see you again. Okie dokie. Oh, wait, maybe I should maybe do an introduction for those of you who do not know me, who have never seen me before, had a reading from me, or met me or seen the videos that we and Aaron and I do online, or my YouTube videos that I do on this channel that you might be watching me on at the moment. I am Bobbi Rowntree. I am a born medium. To me, that means I was born this way. I'm stuck this way. I might as well work with it. So I'm working with it. I have been able to see, hear, and feel people on the other side since, I don't know, since I got here, I guess, because it's been my whole life. All right. Now I'm here to help you guys see, hear, and feel your own dead as well, because that's what I'm here for. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Linda. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Angie. Hello, Brianne. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Diane. Hello, Guy. Sorry if I said it wrong. That's why I said it both times. It's different ways. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Chelsea. Okie dokie. I'm going to run right up to the top because I have a question already from Stacy, and I actually feel that she and her papa need to get this out of the way a little bit. Okie dokie. So Stacy asked if her papa has actually visited her in her sleep, which I'm just gonna generic. Yeah. Well, he tells me he has, and he tells me he's tried. And he actually shows himself tapping you on the shoulder in your dream, which they will often do that to show that they have been in your dreams and they're observing in your dreams, and you might not be able to see them yet, or you might not notice that they are in the dream all the time. Also, too, your papa, I'm assuming, considering the title papa, that this might be your grandfather, because he might be showing himself to you as a young man, or he may have passed as a young man. But I first saw what I could maybe glean as a grandpa, but then as he shows himself in your dreams, I see darker hair. I see him as being a little bit younger. So, and your grandmother. There's something about your grandmother with your papa, some sort of, or if it's your dad, then it might be his spouse or his partner, the person who was his contemporary. And I actually think it has to do with he can't be here, so he would like for the rest of the family to be there for that person. And also, guidance. Now, that is what you said before we came on. So, okay, even before a client shows up, sometimes I will start to get messages for them. And I always tell them to shush that up because I can interpret it incorrectly if I don't have the person sitting right in front of me. And then I can actually even start the whole situation with the wrong idea within my head. But he said this before we came on, and I guess he's saying it again. Put your shoes and jacket on. Actually the life advice he's giving. I see is always be prepared. Make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed before you go out in the world. It's almost like always make sure you're wearing clean underwear in case you get into an accident. Oh, no, it's not that one, he says, because that denotes an idea of an accident. This is actually putting your best foot forward is what he is meaning. And he says, you know what he means. I hope that is absolutely true, but he says you do. Okie dokie. That's my 5. I'm trying to give everybody 5 minutes. I hope, Stacy, that some of the information that came through my head and out my mouth towards you actually landed and made some sense to you, because it's all about me making sense to you guys and making certain that you guys can see possibly the communication is more valid, because the person on the other side, and I've asked them all to do it, has given you a clue or a key or something that makes you feel, oh, okay, that makes a little bit of sense to me then. Alrighty. And oh, that's him, because he would have said bleep, bleep, bloop, blah, bloop. Okie dokie. So I hope that helped, Stacy. All right. Hello, Brenda. Okay, Carrie's got a question. It's a very long question, Carrie. ah. Okie dokie. So, Carrie is asking about her insomnia issues, which is probably an issue that a lot of people watching have, because, man, it's been hard to sleep in the last 2 years, hasn't it? My goodness. At one point, it was like we couldn't do anything but sleep. And now it's like brains are so open and talking. Okie dokie. Yeah, it is actually. Carrie, I don't know if you're feeling chronic fatigue or fatigue throughout your body. And okie dokie, I am okay. Your mom wants me to say the thing I say all the time: spirituality is in your blood. Because your spirituality was in her and she gave it to you, and she should know what to do, because the gift that you hold, your gift is better than hers, though, she says. Your gift is actually more expansive than hers, and your gift comes out of you in a stronger way. She actually, okie dokie. Okay, so the way she puts it is, she knows she's appreciative that you believe her to be able to answer the question, and on this she actually shows herself like she's treading water too. And I actually believe it might be because something in your third eye or crown chakra is opening up a little bit for you. I think that you might be able to hear things at night, and because you are when we're asleep, we're at the highest of our ability to hear from them, because this thing is, it's closed up. So it can't tell you that's not real. This isn't real. That's not what we see. Blah, 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 blah. Because you're asleep, anything can happen. The fantastical can happen. And we download an awful lot when we sleep. They actually show when you do your work, they want you actually to start to root. They want you to actually start to treat your work as though you are doing readings, as though I need to actually prepare myself and my psychic abilities before every reading. I need to root myself and move all the energy up so that this opens up and that opens up. And I even cry out Om to them over and over again to let everyone know that we're ready for business. I actually kind of think they want you to treat yourself in a very, very similar way as well. And yeah, it's almost like it comes from your mom and it goes to you and it goes to your daughter or something. There's something about your daughter in this idea, but your question has to do with the overall health and how you feel. Fatigue, 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 fatigue. Of course you feel fatigued. You haven't slept, but it's almost as though there's not even enough stuff running through and running through. So they want you to meditate more in the daytime, because that is how they can talk to you and teach them. They need to talk to you when you are awake, not when you are trying to rest. They also, I don't know if you've asked them, it seems like something you would do, in saying, hey guys, I need to rest tonight. If you need to download within me, make sure you do not wake us. Make sure we stay in a deep sleep. You actually can orchestrate this a little bit yourself. And as soon as I say that, your mom says, moop, 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 moop. She puts the finger on the nose, which always means that's right, on the nose, because nodding your head is just a little too ambiguous when you're looking at someone in this sort of way. So she does this, and then she does this. She wants you to allow this to grow. I actually think what you actually needed to know or to hear is that you might be getting more psychic, and that it might be somewhat the root of your difficulties, because they really show it like it's arthritic. like it's the blood can't move and flow, because I would tell you to do some yoga actually before bed as well. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. That's what she says. Also, uh, I don't know if you have your daughter actually praying like thank you to Nana before she goes to bed at night, or I hope Nana's okay, or something to that effect. Your mother is marking that or showing me that. So you actually may be doing that, and she's trying to tell you, woohoo, I noticed that and it is helping. Or she wants your daughter to feel as though she is there to be there for her or to help her, because she actually might be having some difficulty as well. You also might want to salt your doorway just to keep any unwanted energies out. I actually put bells on my doors. Every one of my doors has a bell on it to keep negative energies out of my house when people open the doors. Crazy as it sounds. All right. I hope that helped, Carrie. I absolutely do. Hello, Sue. Hello, Sarah Watson. I guess I can say people's last names are right there. Hello, Chelsea. Hello, Diane. Hello, Marnie. Hello, Verna. Hello, Tanya. Oh, thanks. She called me cute. Okie dokie. Ah, so excited. Hi, Kayleen. Hello, hello, hello. Hi from Tanya and Leanne. Oh, hello. Hello, Ba. Hello, Ashley. Ah, Lisa. Ah. Okie dokie. Now, Linda is wondering about any messages from, it's like Dad Day. I don't know if my dad did that, but oh, we just did a mom, didn't we? We just did a mom. We just spoke to a mom. Okie dokie. Now, you talk about this week is an anniversary of both our dads. Are there any messages for our dads to any of our family members? From our dads, for our dads to any of our family members? I know, I understand. I get it. Okie dokie. Now, when you say, I see paternal, maternal, so I'm not quite sure if you mean yours and your partners, or because I actually, there's three men, not two, there's three. I'm not sure if you're, because because you invited all dads to the party. So the third dad might not be your dad or a he's of lower generation, might be an uncle, but that didn't make any sense because that'd be boop, boop, boop. Okay, so I've got two men here. I've got one in the center as well. He marks himself as being an uncle, which would be a lower generation. Not quite sure. He could, one would think that would be a lower generation, but if he's marking himself as an uncle to you, then he would be of a higher generation than your dad, or the same as your dad. It could be that he hasn't been gone as long. That, okay, yeah, all righty, because that will make someone appear lower. They will also do that when they're younger. They will also do that when it's a different generation. I told everyone to be super duper clear. I told them all to be super duper clear. Okie dokie. One dad, the dad on the left, who is marking himself as being the paternal dad. So if this is you and your male partner, this might be his father, or it might actually be your dad's dad, or their dad. Yeah, because the one maternal, paternal. Okie dokie. He has a gift. There's an anniversary of some sort. Oh, the anniversary of both our dads. I swear to God, he's knocking on the top of my head like, wake the up, Bobbi. Goodness gracious me. Okie dokie. He also, there's something about, that's an interesting thing. It looks like address numbers are changing on a house, which that's not usually what I see when it comes to moving. Usually I'll actually see a moving sign on somebody's lawn. This is so much different than actually doing it in front of a person. Anyway, I'll see the for sale sign on somebody's lawn, and that's to mark, okay, this person is moving. They are just showing the numbers changing on the house. I have no clue what that means. I'm hoping and expecting that you actually know what the heck he means by that, because because it's like it's a same thing, different name. So I don't know if it's you're on the same street and you just moved down the street, or I don't know what the heck it is. But okie dokie. He says, thank you. We both do. You're marking both of us. And I don't know if they met on the other side, or if they knew each other over here, or if they met up. on the other side, but they say we met on the other side, and they are high-fiving because they met on the other side. I believe everything in my head tells me that this is you and your partner, because they just showed me a bar between the two of them, and that would mean the joining of two families, because when I see families on the other side, it looks like DNA. And when you have one family, that's a ball. And then when you marry someone, you create a rod that connects the other ball that is your family, and so on and so forth, and up and down it goes. And it looks very much like the model that scientists use of DNA. Which makes DNA more valid to me. Somebody just said that in my head, and that's hilarious. No, I'm not that nuts. Anyway, okie dokie. So, okie dokie. If you were to take anything from these two gentlemen in more of a blanket statement sort of way, because it's difficult because it's two of them, and you know, they want you guys to know, well, yeah, that they're watching over you. That's pretty obvious, isn't it? That they're watching over you, and that you're doing better than they did. You're actually bringing the family up another level, because the people, and I don't think these guys are bad at all. I actually think you guys are just even better, or there's some sort of achievement within the family that they're both actually quite proud of. And it could be, if this is you and your partner, it could be the legacy that you two are leaving within the family. But I'm not entirely sure. I wish I was more sure, but I'm not. Okie dokie. All right. All right. Kristen Dobler asked if there's any messages today. That's very ambiguous, but we can go with that a little bit. They show you looking into a crystal ball, like you're looking into your own future. It might be they want you to actually pay more attention to yourself and to things outside of yourself that you would otherwise largely ignore. I know that sounds weird, but well, you know what? Everything I say sounds weird, so I got to stop saying that. But okie dokie. They also, and this could actually have to do with a particular thing that is going on with you right this moment. Well, obviously it would have, but okay, they make it look like a decision needs to be made, and you need to look into every detail about that decision and actually future cast a little bit for yourself. When we future cast for ourselves, all we're doing is manifesting. So always try to go on the sake of positive. But yeah, if I wish I could be a little more specific, but that's what I get. Okay. Diane would like a message from Mike. Great. Perfect, Diane. All I have to do now is say, Mike, Mike, Mike. Okie dokie. I think Mike must have passed away when Mike was too young to pass away. He actually comes to me. He almost looks like this might be metaphoric, and it might be a reference, but, and I don't know how old you are, Diane, but a long time ago in the 1970s, mostly, if someone worked at McDonald's, they wore a certain hat. Even A&W had the hats, like fast food workers wore a hat. Do they still wear hats? I don't go to fast food places. Anywho, he comes to me. He looks like he's a fast food worker. I don't know if he actually was a fast food worker or if that is metaphoric. And that maybe he actually did a job that, I don't know if fast food work sucks, but I'm assuming it's not real fun. He also, he's doing this with his hand. I don't know what that means. He also says the word messages. You get them from him all the time. It might have to do with either feathers or birds flying by. You might find a feather on the ground and a bird flying by your head. That's an easy one, and I believe he is saying that to me as well. You also may have had to chase him in dreams, or when he was first on the other side, and maybe that's actually what's going on now with him. He is showing me my dad in some dreams would appear on the other side of a window. And that's what he's showing me. He's showing himself like on the other side of a sliding glass door. It's my dad. He's just giving me the example of something he's doing. He also wants me to tell you that he loves you. Um the bird thing, the bird thing seems to be very, very, very prevalent. I don't know if you guys had, I am from the way he makes it look, I want to run to the assumption that you guys were married. I want to go to white and doves and things like that. And that may or may not have been actually the case. And I can just tell you the things that I so much different doing it this way. Okay. I see a book. I see white birds. I see you walking. I see a feather on the ground. I see a bird go past you in the air. To me, all of that is birds are a really, 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 really easy thing for them to actually signal to us with. Also, too, I know a lot of us actually still get the angel idea in our head that that's what we become. We become winged, and then therefore the feathers become part of it. Okie dokie. I honestly believe as well, just from what I'm getting from him, is he's desperately trying to get a hold of you. He needs you to know he's fine. He needs you to know he's okay, that there's no suffering. He is not in hell. He is not being whipped. There is no fire and no brimstone. In fact, there is a maternal energy around him. I get the word mom, but it doesn't mean if his mom's on the other side, yes, it's most likely his mom. But if his mom is with us, my assumption would be that it is somebody who I want to say smells like his mom, somebody who reminds him of his mom, because we mommies have a certain smell to our children. I know my mommy always had a certain smell to me, and the only person who can convey that smell was my sister, actually. So it could be because you can get that same feeling from different members of your family. That was my point. Okie dokie. And I love you. If you take anything from Mike, it's that I love you and I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the swear, but I heard it, so I said it because it's with him. It's so frustrating. And it's most likely because he passed early and wasn't able to actually say goodbye, possibly, and he wants to be able to cement things with you. Also, too, when you see these things, he wants a hi, Mike. Let him know he's doing well, because he shows it like he gets a point every time you do that. And every time he gets a point, he makes it look like he gets to suck on a power meter. They all show things differently. So I understand and agree with what he says. The more you acknowledge the work he does to try to get a hold of you, the more work he'll be able to do. The stronger he'll become, the more they will give to him in regards to personal power, so that he can actually communicate with you. So yeah, yeah, and I'm seeing the dimes. So it might be that he's leaving dimes, or that the dimes are the generic, this is how people on the other side talk to us. I hope that helps. It's funny. I brought a clock here so I could time myself. Ha ha. That's so funny. Anyway, hello, Guy. Evening. So you're far away. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Danielle. Okay. Okie dokie. Chelsea, your dad died a few months ago, and there are so many answers I never got from him. Sorry, I actually heard immediately, and that's why I laughed. And you'll still wait too, because you won't believe him when he gives them to you. That's actually what he said. He says you've been grieving all this time. He shows it to me like you have not been able to let go. And he shows it as though you have been being stronger for somebody else. And it might be your children, or somebody shorter than you, or you might be the eldest. But okay, when I said that, he said, my baby, my baby, my baby. So my assumption then would be that you might be the youngest. But he does show like you've got like a whole house on top of you. Enough is enough. He says that's why you don't have time to grieve, because you're picking up the pieces. He also shows you doing the start cry, and I know this feeling. You feel as though if you move into the cry, you will explode, or it will things will everything will fall down around you. That's what the way he puts it. He says that you and he were picked from the same pod. You know what he means. You guys are we both react to things in a similar way, but your genders make that difference. Okay. I want you to know I'm okay. I want you to know I'm not cold anymore. I want you to know I want everyone to know that I'm still around and I'm still a member of the family. He actually showed the loss of him has created this void that nobody can fill. It's almost like if you somebody did a took like all of your intestines out of your body, like there's a very very important component of the family, and there's an emptiness with that component that your dad actually keeps showing you shoveling stuff into that void. So it could be that you're trying to fill the void that your father has left, or you're trying to step into his shoes, but you might not be doing it consciously. It might be just what is falling upon you. And that might be getting in your way of your time to grieve. I don't know if you're able to be the griever as much as you are the fixer. Just from his perspective, I don't know if that's entirely the way you are seeing it, because we're going on the opinion. And I'm supposed to tell, well, duh, he loves you. And can we say it? Look behind you. Look behind you. That's what he says. And he makes it, I kind of think he's meaning I'm always behind you. Like you can maybe feel him behind you. I think either that, if you're looking for something, that's because I'm not sure if you're looking for him. He also wants me to mark the whoop up the bra thing. They will do this where, man, you start to you go into a room, and all of a sudden you start to think about them, and then you start to think about a time, and then you start to think about how much you love them, and then you start to and you actually feel like you're going to explode. And it's actually they put their hand right up behind our bra strap, grab a hold of our heart, and say, hi, I love you, but I'm gonna get back. And all we see is, oh my God, you're not here anymore. So something like that has happened, but he's been very, very, very careful. I don't even know if he can completely and absolutely get to you, because there seems to be like all around you, but I do not see your windows as dark. So all is not lost. It's just, I don't think you're listening. And that's it. And I think people don't even realize they can listen. So there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's, and, Danielle, and it, okie dokie. Sometimes we do not know we have these gifts until something large happens, until somebody passes away. And then we don't realize how we actually hear, because we all hear differently. I was very, very fortunate that when my father passed away, I had already been talking to his mom before that. So for me to figure out how I see people who are on the other side wasn't a trial. It was just the worst, like me figuring out how I eat or blink. With other folks, they have other psychic abilities that get in the way of that, and those become their prevalent movements. So now that you have lost somebody so incredibly close to you, your psychic ability is being shown to you, but you can't recognize it as such. So spend some time. Okie dokie. He even says, make it plain and simple. Ask him to make it plain and simple. Ask him to help you in the best way he can. He has to borrow power because he's new. And he might have been somewhat like my dad. My dad was an atheist. So he was headless when he came to visit. And his mother was so powerful that she helped him to communicate with me. But even after that, I chased him for a full year in my dreams. So it's up to him as much as it's up to you. And tell him what you want him to do. That's what he says. Yeah, because you want it to be special too. Dimes everybody can do. My dad used to leave, well, he leaves pennies, and now I'm finding loonies. They got a whole stack. Where did I put them? They're in there somewhere. Anyway, I got a whole stack from him. So ask for that too. Ask him to be specific and show you things. I know when it's my dad because it's an eagle, it's a penny, it's a loony, it's a this, it's a hat. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. Anywho, so okie dokie. Haley. Okie dokie. Yeah, and actually, Haley, if you haven't felt your mom around you, it might actually be that she is around your children, because that's what I see. I would actually think you're pregnant. She's so around your children. Like she is taking care of the little people while you are busy doing other things. That's actually the way that she puts it. And she says, you've heard a lot from her in the past. You've heard tons from me in the past, or something like that. Um, Oh, okay. And it's changed. Your mom has ascended a little bit. Your acknowledgement of her. I don't know if you have a brother. There's something about a brother that is helping her in a very big way. She wants you to see it as though she's climbing up a staircase, which is really neat because actually this is how I see it with Muslim folks, that but not entirely the same. This looks like a Harry Potter kind of staircase where you go up a few stairs, there's a landing, then you go up a few stairs, landing. That's what she is showing herself doing. So she wants you to know that in these quiet times, she is ascending. And sometimes it can be difficult when they start to ascend and get a little bit higher to figure out how to talk to your little brain again. I shouldn't have said it like that, but it's true because they almost have to. Okay. She wants me to liken it to when you talk to your kids, how you talk to each kid differently, actually, because you do. And how, if you really want to have a meaningful, like a conversation where your kid's going to listen to you, you best be getting to their level and looking them directly in the eye instead of doing the whole thing like this. And you know this, you're a good mommy. And she's telling me that that's what she's trying to do, that she has to bring herself to what will make the most sense to you. And she's already had an ascension, and she says thank you for that because you are part of the reason that she's had the ascension. So she's just trying to figure out another way to get through to you, but it's so easy to get through to the kids, and she's been there all along. She says you can smell me. She says I'm there, it's just not this way you're accustomed to. So it's changed. My grandmother was a similar sort of thing. Now she's just like, she's the room, rather than she feels like the little lady that used to sit at the end of my bed. And she did. Now, yes, are your ancestors with you? This is a great question all the way around, because what's the difference between an ancestor and loved ones that are on the other side? Well, I'll tell you. When I see ancestors, I actually only see them with two different um nationalities, right? I don't even know what I say anymore, for goodness sakes. Because two different I'm not gonna say types of people who actually their culture speaks of the ancestors. I see the ancestors. Cultures where we're not accustomed to looking at our ancestors in this sort of way, I will actually see generation rather than the word ancestors. But ancestors are very, very, very important because it's like they're the keeper of the blood. Because not all of them stay there, standing there all stoicy, watching you and waiting for you and loving you. Some move on, ascend, reincarnate, things like that. But some are so stuck within that bloodline and the movement. I bet you I'm going to be being an ancestor, dadgummit. So, particularly for you, there's something about fire and your roots, actually. And they tell me that's why you're asking in the first darn place. Golly sakes, fire is the roots of each and every one of us. It was the first electricity, wasn't it? Very much. So they show you actually hearkening back to your roots. And I would say, young lady, that you come from a very, 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 very long line. And I see fur. It looks like cave people, actually, like that, because the fur on the shoulders, that's actually what I'm seeing. Um, Get to know me is the thing that, and actually that might take some research from you, that, and I don't know if you're Celtic or, because you guys are old, very old, and I actually root you all the way to the upper parts of Europe, but then England and Ontario look like they're in the same place in my psychic brain. So that, I, if I'm going way over there, it may or may not be the actuality. It could even be that you are from Quebec and you're indigenous. So they show you looking through books. So real time sorts of things, meaning that, well, that's easy. Yeah, knowledge that is actually already there, and it's books, not click. Mostly because there might actually be books that are, or something. Sorry, when I stop, it's actually because I'm about to say something, then somebody else says something else to me to stop me from saying what I'm saying so that they can tack more information or let me know when I'm kind of looking at this in the incorrect way. That is why I stop and go, because I'm talking to the people in my head because they're talking to me. So that's why I do that. So, but what I would actually do if I were in your position is actually maybe sit by a fire and see what they're trying to say to you. Get a little bit more. You might even want to get more indigenous, like in your meditations, in what you do as. I don't know if you see yourself as a medicine woman, but I just heard that. I also I actually think you need to spend more time with yourself because I see 3 of you around the fire. So, and that's what I would be doing too. If I was sitting around a fire, I would be talking about Bobbi with the people who I know stuff about the stuff that I need to know about. And I actually think that's what you're supposed to do. They also, I don't know if you know a name of one of your ancestors. If you do not, you are perfectly, there's some, they show you writing a name down that comes to your head. So if you already think you know a name, then that actually might be the name. They also, yeah, there's something about medicine and there's something about your meditation. So it could very well be that you are a medicine woman and you just didn't even realize that. You didn't know that. There might be and medicine woman, that's such a ambiguous and it's got such an idea. But for this, I would say even if you bake and everyone loves your cookies, that is the medicine that you're giving. I have a friend who makes the most amazing cookies and gives them to the right people at the right times. And that is her medicine that she gives to all of us. I hope that helps. Verna. Verna would like a message from her dad. Okie dokie. Immediately, I see my own. I see the relationship I had with my dad. My dad called me his buddy, and we had a special bond. I was his boy, even though not a boy, but hence my name. But there's some sort of camaraderie, something that you and your dad share, Verna, and you are letting it grow. You are allowing it to grow, and he's watching you because it's not something I don't think that he would do when he was here, is what he's showing. He also, he says, I'm learning from you and you are learning from me. Make no mistake, you are learning from me. So if you feel that your dad is helping you on your spiritual journey, he actually is. And golly sakes, what's with the parents in the businesses sort of thing? He's showing I don't know if you have a vein towards fellas right now in your business, a product that you could be making for men, because intellectual, right? Your dad wants to help guide you towards that. It actually looks very, very important, to be perfectly honest. And the way that he makes it look, it's like there is a stone, yeah, that you make for men. Isn't that weird? I think that's weird. I think it's neat, but and I've never seen anything like it. It almost looks like the moonstone which I would see very female energy-ish because I always think of periods and moons and things like that. It could be there's something that has to do because I always think of the sun with the male. I always think of the female with the moon and the male with the sun. That is my thing. I think it might not be actually. It might be a thing, but he wants to help guide you because it's the blind leading the, well, it's, can I say it that way? It's the dead leading the blind when it comes to something like this. And it's an expansion within what it is that you do. Because our family on the other side does actually want to help us with everything that goes on with our lives because it actually helps them on the other side. So I hope that helps, Verna. Maya, is there any messages? Yeah, actually, the first one, Amaya, is you're a good mom. Stop doubting and judging yourself. You are too hard on you. They actually show you looking in the mirror and saying some mean and nasty stuff to that beautiful lady that you're seeing in there. Cut that out because they actually want you to take your kid, this little girl, and hold her up like this and say those mean things to that little face. No, you would not do that. So don't do that to her, mommy, please. That will diminish you. Also, interesting. I don't know what you're thinking of for career path, but they're actually, I don't know also if you're trying to figure out a way to make money and be home, but I'm actually seeing you trying to figure out a way to make money and be home. And it looks like you look into esthetician. Gosh sakes, I see the lash thing. It seems they make more money than I do. So yeah. But you want something actually that builds for you. And I don't know if, but you're smart. You have a mind like a steel trap. You actually remember a lot of things, which may not have been presented to you in high school. Mine, it wasn't presented to me in high school either. It wasn't until university that I found out I was smart because I was actually studying stuff I was interested in. But I actually see an accounting thing. Yeah, I do. I do. I see accounting, like bookkeeping. Is that a possibility? Maybe. They actually want you to take all the steps to make you happy. Because if you're happy, your baby's happy. And I actually think your child is number one to you. I actually even think you're number two compared to your child in your brain, which I get that. I'm not going to tell you not to, but you shouldn't. But I'm not going to tell you not to. I totally understand. Try to balance it so that you're number one, she's number one, and that is that. But they actually want you to start thinking about okay. They tell me that one of the things that you might struggle with is people not understanding your worth and how great you are, being underestimated. And it might come a lot with men. I was gonna say men with penises. What other men are there? Well, I guess there's anyway. It might come a lot in your relationships with fellas. But it might be that those are the relationships that you can mark in that sort of way. But I think you might be selling yourself short a little bit, or you might need to put your foot down and go, hey, I'm amazing. Notice that. Could you? There's something like that going on. And actually, you need to dig your heels in and go, no. You need to start actually looking in the mirror and seeing what your friends see, seeing what your daughter sees, and possibly seeing what your partner sees, even though he might not be very good at telling you because, well, he might not have been taught that he can tell people stuff that's good. I hope that makes sense. Thank you. Okay, Carrie. Okie dokie. It's like Mike Day. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Rosemary. Rosemary would like to hear from her brother, Mike. I have no idea why, but I hear university. And I don't know if he passed while he was in university or he wants you to go to university or something about university. It could even be, oh, it could be that Mike is in university now. He may have been the person who orchestrated his passing. I always say it like that because to when we orchestrate our own passing, when we like actually commit suicide, or we drink and drive, or we engage in a behavior like smoking that we know could bring about a earlier demise, then we actually go to the suicide realm. Everybody goes to, if you give up the gift, if you spit upon the gift, then you will go to the suicide realm to learn why that happened to you. And that could very well be why Mike is in university, because they often call it school. Okay, no. I don't really think that's it. But Mike is still saying university, so I don't have it right. This is what they'll do. If I don't have it right, they'll just say the same thing over and over and over again. Okie dokie. He shows himself like he is in line with you. So I don't know if you guys were a similar age, but he is marking you as his contemporary. He also is telling me he loves you. Well, of course he loves you. He's your brother. He has to. He also wants me to tell you about DNA. DNA means you share more DNA with your siblings than anybody else on the planet. Your siblings actually come and get you when you cross over. He wants me to follow that up with whether you like it or not. And he shows himself guiding you to the other side, and boom, you go into the doorway. I don't know if he means to knock you into the doorway because he's your brother and he might be a poopy face, or he knocks you in the doorway because he's your brother and he gets distracted and he accidentally knocked you into the doorway. He went like this, like it could be either one. Because he wants you to know it's still him. He wants you to know he still loves you. And he says, it's me. So, golly sakes, that's a really hard thing to... He makes it look like back in the olden days, remember we had blinds you pulled down? And if you pulled them up, they went right back up. He's showing something like that. So that is so vague to us, specific to him. It could be something around your front window of your house. And it might involve a bird. It may be that a bird, and that's the of the blind going up. But he says he's always trying to get a hold of you because he's trying to let you know he's here. It's kind of like it's everything. Like when you say goodbye to someone and you know they're driving a distance and you say, okay, let me know when you get there so I know you're okay. That's what he's doing. That's what he has been doing. He also would like to step up the communication. He'd like you to know it's him. He'd like to be able to get you to realize he's standing right the fuck there. I am sorry about the swear word, but so he says, give me something you'll pay attention to. So you can ask him. There might actually be something that you see on the daily. It might be something that you see as you're driving to work. He's going to try to distort it, or he wants you to tell him which thing to do. Be super, don't get all fancy. It's not like movies. They can't do that sort of stuff. It's so very, very minuscule, the movement they can make, but it is there. Yeah. I have a tray in my house right now that keeps getting moved, and I keep moving it to the center because I cannot handle it being a little more to the right than to the left. And I'm not quite sure which family member is doing it, but they've been given poop because I can't stand them. That's probably why they're doing it. It's probably my cousin. He's such a brat. Anywho, he wants you to do a similar sort of thing. He wants you to know he's there. It means so much to them. It actually means as much to them as it does to us. Believe it or not, even though they're like, I don't even know why they're so concerned about us, because they are in a great place and we're here. Okie dokie. I hope that helps Rosemary in some way. Hello, Doreen. Okay, it is Dad Day. It's totally Dad Day. Check it out. Messages from my dad. It is Dad. I swear, if I could hear my dad giggling, I would hear him giggling, because it's like he just said, oh, all the dads come. Okie dokie. Your dad has given something to you, Natalie. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I could actually even go as far as to say it's an apple. And an apple to me means the heart. He's giving you his heart. It might be actually that he's trying to give you his heart, and it's a sweet and beautiful thing. It will always be a sweet and beautiful thing. Sorry about that. But it might also be that he's trying to talk about hearts. Could be. Because, okay, well, when women have heart attacks, it's very, very different than when men have heart attacks. That's why so many women pass of heart disease, because we do not recognize it. We think it's back pain. He mentioned that. So I thought I might need to mention that as well. He also, well, this is not a surprise. He says he loves you. He also, there's something about a dog. And I don't know if the dog knows when he's there in the house or if he has the dog, but I see a dog. This is so much fun. I swear, because he's showing me when I first started, before I started up, I asked everyone to come and to start getting ready to come and see and talk to me, because they would know when you guys are coming more than you guys even know that you're coming. And there's a little bit of a lineup. And Natalie, your dad is very much enjoying the camaraderie of the lineup, of all the dads and the other people from the other side, and he's getting to meet other people, and they're having a better time with this than you guys are, because you guys are individually alone, whereas they're all in a great big group. And your dad, Natalie, says, and I think this might be out of character for him, because he actually says out of character and scrapes his tongue, the camaraderie and the love. He says it's tremendous. And I don't know that he would have marked the love. He may have marked the camaraderie, but maybe not have said it in that sort of way. But it fills you right up. He says, this is one of the good parts about being dead. That's actually what he says, because nobody gets to hide. And I don't know if your dad was unable to actually realize or bring his emotions to the front, or if it was actually quite the opposite, that he brought his emotions and he's so happy to be around a place where it's okay to have your emotions. But yeah, he actually even shows it was confusing for him at first. So my thinking is actually that he did show people how much he loved them, and that this is great because he gets to actually be loving and himself. And yeah, I don't know if you're married. It looks like you're married from the picture, but that your husband or partner factors into it for your dad. And he actually puts his finger on his nose. He is part of that group. Yeah, because sometimes when your dad can't get into your brain to visit with you, he'll go hang out in your husband's brain. Excuse me. The yawning happens. This lack of oxygen from doing the things I'm doing. Hello, Jose, I'm not sure. I'm going with Josie because Josie and the Pussycats. Hi. Hi, Kita. Okie dokie. Kita, they say you're on the right track. Keep going. And actually, they make it look like the path that's in front of you is actually all covered in vines, and it looks like blackberry bushes. So it does not look in any way, shape, or form inviting. So, but they actually show you being able to get through unscathed. So if you have worry about the path that you're going on and what you're about to do, based on how difficult it looks or how hard it would be for other people, please know that they're showing you as though you have a film on you that'll keep you from harm. That will keep you, actually, they show you going through the blackberry bushes without a scratch. And I can't even imagine going through blackberry bushes without a scratch. They are quite the situation. So they want you to keep going. And your little baby says hi. She says, thank you, mommy. So I don't know if you did a commemoration. There's something, I don't know if in the house you guys have marked something for her, but she says, thank you. And the washing of the feet. There's something about she's washing off her feet or doing something with her feet, and then she's running around and running around and running around. I actually kind of think she's showing you that she's growing, because she is. She's getting older on the other side. and with you alongside with her siblings. And you either smelt her, you heard her, you felt her, something happened, and she is marking that is yes, good. Yes, yes, that was her. And actually, I don't know that you need that confirmation, but she's giving it to you anyways. And it's for daddy too. I'm to give you the angel wing kisses. Okie dokie. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Lindsay. Okie dokie. Ashley. Now, Ashley would like to know what she needs to do to move forward in life. Stop looking back, actually, is what they say. They actually even show you trying to move forward in a meditative and enlightened sort of way, and still looking back behind you and still looming. There's like a looming or something. It could even be that you expect crap to happen, or so much crap has happened in the past that that is still looming. Okay, it's a new day. Sorry, but they actually want you to think that way. They actually they show you getting one of those loofahs that does the back, which I totally get. Sometimes doing something symbolic can actually become something spiritual. It's like when someone has a presence in their house, they're often told to wash their walls to actually get the film of the just it's the idea of cleaning it up and cleaning out. And I actually think you got a lot of cleaning up and cleaning out. They show it like you are dragging stuff with you that you do not want to drag, which I get. I don't know if it's actual physical stuff, but it's so easy to, it's super duper easy to take what you have learned during certain experiences and bring them to each and every new experience. That's what we do as human beings, but sometimes that actually will manifest the same result each and every time. So they want you to kind of rewrite yourself. Almost like when people change their names completely and make up their own name, make up a new identity. That's kind of what they want you to do. They want you to let go of the past a little bit. It's interesting too, because they're not showing you, they're showing you looking at your feet. You honor where you have walked and what you have been through and what brought you to where you are, but you are no longer the person who went through it. And they need you to clean slate yourself and start fresh and new. And I hope that helps. And you can do this very, 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 very meditatively. They show you doing cord cutting ceremonies. They show you washing your back. They show you washing your feet figuratively. I would wash your feet too. I would do salt tubs as well, but they're not showing that. So it might not be your thing. Yeah. And get the heck outside. I don't know if you're inside all the time right now, but you need to get the heck outside and moving water. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and because it moves energy too. I actually have little fountains all through my house too for energy movement. Because water to me is like the blood in our bodies. It's the thing that runs and carries the energy everywhere. So yeah, I have salt lamps and water fountains all over my house. It's great for my cat because she gets to drink. Anywho, I hope that helped, Ashley. Thank you, Josie. Carrie, any messages from Carrie's mom? So I keep people on the other side over here. So when I look over there, I'm actually looking at the lineup of folks that are standing there waiting to talk. Carrie, your mom says you work too hard. Is that actually true? Or is that her opinion? You don't make enough time for you, she says. And she tells me it's the pot calling the kettle black. She tells me that's what she taught you to do. A good woman is always exhausted. Yeah. Smile, it'll make people more happy. Things like that. Yeah. And your mom goes like that. So, would that be not like your mom to say as well? Would she not admit that she did that or in any way did something like that? It's very strange. Okay. I don't know if she left you any money, but when parents want to tell us to actually take care of ourselves or pamper ourselves or give ourselves something extra, they will start to massage our hand and wrist and go all the way up the body. Not quite sure why they do. I see. Give something to yourself. Thank you, Carrie's mom. It means take and allow receiving for yourself. Your mom wants you. You might actually be living your life like she did in some way. And I think she wants you to add an I love you component upon it. The stuff for you. I don't know that you're making time for you in her opinion. So, and remember, it's her opinion. Doesn't mean it's absolutely the truth. It's just the way she sees the truth. She sees what's true. She also says, don't worry, I got him. Not quite sure. So, okie dokie. She says, I love you. You do look like me. Okie dokie. She also wants you to look a little bit up, meaning that right now you might be seeing your ability or whatever you can do as being right here. She wants you to, oh yeah, because then you'll be able to hear her better. She wants you to step it up. She actually even makes it look like in your chakra meditation, you've gotten to hear, and she needs you to go the full 9 yards. It might take a little ego. You might have to go, okay, well, maybe I can hear my mommy. If I can hear my mommy, what's my mommy trying to say? I'm not even sure why I said it that way, but you might want to ask for more clarity from her in this sort of way. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. Carrie. Okie dokie. Husband first. That's what I say. Yes. Yeah, he says it is true. And he makes it look like you two chat in bed. Or that you know that he comes and he lays with you. And that he never, ever, ever actually left you. He just left the mortal coil that you know. I believe you may have done an offering for him, the burning of a meal on the stove, but he would like you to continue to. I think you know the offerings that he's like the sage, and he says something about rosemary, something to clear the path and clear the way, because there was some stuff you did possibly regarding his passing to help him move stronger and more stronger, higher and stronger in the spirit world is how he wants me to put it. He said, whatever it is you're doing a great job. I don't know if he was a drummer, because he's showing boom, 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 boom. It could be heartbeat. It could be something, it could be a vibration that you're feeling when he's around. I believe that you can feel him when he is around you, and I believe you are correct. So does he. He says, you know what? You don't need this one. That's what he says. I am this one on that one. Now, I think you guys may have had babies together. I don't know if you had 5 or 7. I'm hoping includes 4-legged children or married into the family children, poor thing. But he shows himself like this. He's an octopus. That's what he wants. And then he thinks he's so funny because now he said octopussy. It's a whole thing. And it's funny, funny, funny. Okie dokie. He thinks you want to hear him laugh again. He thinks you want to know for sure it's true. And I would be entirely surprised if you didn't know for sure that what you saw was true. Entirely surprised. Also, guidance, messages, they want you to step up to the plate and start swinging the bat, please. And I actually think I may have told you, because they're telling me you've told her this before, that quite possibly what you receive through your crown chakra and the grounding that you have as a human being actually needs to be shared. And if you have any trepidations, concerns, or wonder about who you're to share it with, just ask them. Just say to them, bring me the people who I am supposed to share the information with, because that's exactly what I do. I say, send me the people who need me. And they do. Thank goodness they do. So it's the same thing with you. They want you to do the same thing. They want you to step up the plate. And I do believe I may have called you a chicken poo last time, and they're calling you that again. I am not going to mock you, but they want me to. They want me to go bark, 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 bark. Oh, yes, I just did, didn't I? Your husband just went, put his finger on his nose. Also, too, um, don't know why. I don't understand it. They're making it look like you're solving a Rubik's Cube. I don't know that if right now you are actually trying to master the Rubik's Cube. Excuse me. I doubt that quite severely. I think it's metaphorically speaking that you're a great problem solver and the solution to the problem is in your hands. Sorry, that was a good one. Oh, he loves you. He loves you so much. He did not even realize what a witch you were until he got there. And that's a compliment. He also, I don't know if he was indigenous. My assumption is that he may have been, but he's showing me the indigenous crossing, which is the feet. I can see feet in the canoe. The canoe is sailing. I can see animals on the riverbank. And he wants me to mark that for him because it's such a beautiful, inviting, and lovely crossing. And he said it helped him to see so much more about the beautiful wife that you were. And then he just, so he did not talk like this to you, or he did not mention how wonderful you were. He says, that's the one. So yeah, silly goose. Okay, just a little thing for the men out there from Jerry's husband. Tell your wife you love her and don't be such a chicken poo. He actually used that term, not the S one. Okay. Oh, I love you, he says. I love the fuck out of you. And I'm really sorry for the swear word for everyone who's offended right now, but I have to say it the way they say it because they want me to. Okie dokie. Kayla, Leanne. Ah, dads again. Oh, anything your dad and Nana, we got your baby. Do you know what gender your baby is? I'm not going to reveal it just in case, because really, actually, I'm wrong 50% of the time, but I do see a very distinct color in my head. They want me to tell you too that that baby inside of you, you have the physical being, they have the soul, and they're teaching the soul things about you, about the family, and about where they are going to. They also, I read to all of my children inside, they are telling me to tell you to do the same. There's something about the literary part of things, which is just, it starts their brain moving and grooving and going. And you want to give your baby the best start it possibly can. So they're showing me two things I did. I cut out caffeine, which meant chocolate. Yeah. That was terrible. And I read to my babies while they were inside and talked and rubbed and chatted. Oh, okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. Your dad says the baby looks like you right now, but it'll look like him when it comes out. He also says, Nana won't let me hold the baby as much. I had to edit myself there because I was going to use a pronoun that would reveal the gender of the child. And I don't know if you know the gender of a child or if you want to know the gender of a child. I guess it's just as much a guess from me as it is from the lady down the street. But, okay. I see a lot of blue energy. Let me just put that in there. But your dad has blue energy too. So yeah, there's that. They also, that's hilarious. No, that's what I would say. I would say, get the epidural. Because I've done it 3 times, got the epidural. But I don't know if that came from me or him because that is something I actually say all the time, but it does kind of feel like it's something from him as well. And I think it's something from him because he's your dad, not your mom. So his view of childbirth is, holy crap, how did you let that happen to you? Sorry, that's funny. That came right out. That is very funny. They both want you to know thank you. I think that you may have something up, like you have pictures of them or something, some sort of commemoration, or you may have talked about them, and it's both of them. The picture I see of what I would believe to be your Nana is is this his mother? Because I'm assuming it's his mother because I'm seeing my paternal grandmother, my father's mother. So my assumption would be the same, but it doesn't absolutely have to be. They also want you to know. I think you can hear them somewhere in the back of your head, or you can feel something in the back of your head. Maybe there's some sort of physical reminder thing, or it's something that you can hear that you kind of shove into the back of your head. That is more your nana than your dad, because I think she may have predeceased him. I actually heard the words predeceased. And okie dokie. She's showing me when my first one was little, I actually almost dropped her because I was holding her in my arms and I was quite exhausted and I fell asleep and didn't realize she was sliding down my body. She was just about down my body when my grandmother went, Berta, because that's what people who love me call me, Berta. And I grabbed my baby. She is showing me a similar sort of thing with you having to do with what's coming up. And I actually think if you're at all nervous or anything like that, I don't know that this is your first though. She wants to be kind of in the back of your head, and she would, okie dokie, she would like you to allow her to get closer to you. Isn't that interesting? Through this, which makes perfect sense to me. It absolutely does, especially in your postpartum time. They want you to take, and actually, I don't know if you're meditating through your pregnancy, but you might want to actually, because I actually kind of think your baby wants you to meditate. Isn't that interesting? Okie dokie. And we have your baby. If you get anything from them, it's we have your baby. Okie dokie. Now, Nikki, stir me. Okie dokie. Messages for me, Nikki. Okay, now, Nikki, they're showing you walking down a path, which might be your life path. They are, yeah, they actually show you picking up your feet and looking at the bottoms of your feet to make sure that this is a path you want to take, that this is the right path for you, because it looks kind of like you're walking down a dark alley, to be perfectly honest. So, okie dokie. Nikki needs to know she's powerful. She doesn't right now. That is actually, I don't know if this is your granny, grandmother, uh, we could go older lady, but you're more powerful than you think you are. You actually hide your power from you. That is actually what they say. And you might even be having a physical reminder of that. You might be having some tummy trouble, some digestive difficulties. Yeah, just the stomach. That's what I call it. I know it's very medical. Stomach. But something is actually taking away your power. And yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, I do actually see it like you're going down a dark alley. I see this big building behind you. So they're showing you, I don't know if I want to, because you can go down dark alleys as long as you have your armor on, you're fine and dandy, because there's a lot of people down dark alleys who need help from us. But you might want to double check that that is something that you want to do and that will serve you. Sorry, that seemed very ambiguous, but it might not be ambiguous to you. Ambiguous. Hello, Tanya. She called me beautiful. I'm married. Just kidding. Okie dokie. Hello, Ms. Awesome. What a great Ms. Awesomeness. I love that. That's really good. That's groovy. It's already taken. I can't take it. Oh, Catherine. Okie dokie. Hello, Catherine. Okie dokie. Kidney problems. Actually, you know what? I hear your liver first, then your kidney. And actually, if it's gets that's then you're right. So I don't get that. But it might be just a cleaning organ situation. Now on her left, right. Oh, that is a right. You said right, not left. See, I'm getting tired. Okie dokie. Yeah, actually, I can't. Yeah, it's cleaning. It is cleaning. And it could actually even be that you're in your bloodline, you guys don't process things as quickly. It could also be actually something you are not paying attention to. I don't know if you get it mostly at night when everything is shut down, and then it actually gets to the point where you can't sleep or you're so uncomfortable and everything else is quiet. I kind of think it might be your body talking to you, and it may all along in your family be their body's talking to you. I know in my family, blood is a very, very, very big thing. And can actually even kill you in my family. That my dad is a perfect example of that, as is my grandmother, really. And those are the two people that I feel I fall in line with my psychic abilities. My dad would just die laughing if he heard that. Again. Anyway, so when they show me, yeah, I see your liver and I say green tea. I know that's very, very basic, but green tea, matcha green tea does actually detoxify the liver. I would drink it like a crazy woman. I would actually even go to matcha if I were you. Also, too, they say flush your system. Now, those are also very, very, those are physical things that because I've had kidney stones. And Okie dokie. For them, I used cranberry juice because they were full on kidney stones when I realized that I had them. So they're telling me that, but at the same time, it's flushing the system with you. It actually has to do with, because I don't know if you have a kid, but your kid might be showing signs as well. So they want you to get on it so it doesn't pass on to your kid. And I know that sounds strange, but I believe it very, very, very much to be true. I actually believe very much that our genetic structure isn't just a physical thing, it's also a spiritual thing. And every family has a job to do. And every family has a set of psychic abilities. And we are all here to serve each other. And we're here for a purpose. And this might be part of the purpose with you. So water, 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 water. And if you're not a person who likes to drink plain water, me, I cannot stand it. I feel like I'm drinking spit. So I'll put lemon in my water, which is extra cleaner, but it's grapefruit that I see a lot with you because grapefruit will actually get into the kidneys and clean them out as well, like cranberries will. But yeah, I think you might be somewhat on the right track, but the reasons might be different from what you think because this is your solar plexus. And I actually think it has everything to do with your personal power. That flush, flush, flush. Yeah, do the water, but please start meditating. Please start looking into your rum energy. That's the sound of your solar plexus chakra. Rum, rum. So you might also want to wear a little citrine every now and again with the idea of your solar plexus being stronger. And think about blood health when you think about movement. Okay, I hope that helps. Okie dokie. Hello, Catherine. Missing my mom. I'm so sorry. Oh, because actually, Sue, I can tell you, I heard in my head, your mom misses you too because you don't talk to her enough. You might even want to talk to her like she's there. That might be really, 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 really hard for you because then you come to that realization and have the tears again. But slowly but surely, it gets easier and easier and easier. Because I swear to you guys, my dad's here right now, sitting right here, being part of all this with me. Because I don't want to do this without him. I like having somebody on the other side who can help protect me or be part of everything for me and in spirit. And the more I realize and know he is there and acknowledge all the other members of my family that visit, the more they visit. And it's not just because I am what I am. Okie dokie. Now, okie dokie. I am going to do 2 more. And I'm sorry if I do not get to you. This is not the last time I'm doing this. I am going to be, I'm weekly accessible and you can get a hold of me in different ways. Okay, so Josie, do dark shadows attach to him or attached to the room? Him. Him. Yeah. Oh, golly sakes. Okie dokie. Yeah. Well, first off, I would say put a salt lamp. And I actually think a salt lamp would turn to water in this child's room. I would also, and they're showing it to me. There, you can smudge with sage, but there's many other actual plants that you can use to clear the energy if you do not have sage. I have a meme of that, Josie. If you, I can maybe send it to you through private message, but rosemary is one of them, and that's the one that's actually springing to my head. And it might just be because I have this thing about rosemary. I really, really like it. Played Ophelia once. But you need to clear the room. They tell me you also need to call in the angels and put some positive energy in there. I don't know. I don't know if your son's an actual adolescent or if he just has that adolescent energy. But yeah, he's obviously part of the problem. They actually even show you grabbing your son's foot and rubbing I feel like I said this before, rubbing soap on it like Peter Pan did to try to put a shadow back on, but almost like you're cleaning off his foot to clean where he has been so that any past stuff is not with him anymore. And I would absolutely ask, because I'm being told to tell you this, somebody from the other side to protect him. And when my son would have nightmares, the first thing I would tell him, I'd say, "Who do you call?" And he would say, "Grandpa." Because he knew that my dad would never ever let anyone get him. And if they got to scare him, it's only because my dad looked away for 5 seconds. That's the only way, because otherwise he protect him. I'd have him call Archangel Michael and I'd ask him to call my dad. And those would make him feel better. In the meantime, because they show me your son at one of the pinnacle ages, to me, the pinnacle ages are 3, 7, 9, 11. Those are the ages where your psychic energy is going to start to dissipate a little bit, and you might seem more like you're able to be normal. And if you get to 11 and your kid's still saying, "Yeah, the voices are still here," well, now they're there and they're in them forever. They make your son look like he's at the 9 stage. I don't know if he's actually 9 years of age or if they're just showing him at the 9 stage to show that it's not completely cemented that he's going to be constantly bothered like I was. So they almost want you to like bind his power and say, "Angels, please protect him from what he is able to do until he is able to handle what he can do." I hope that makes sense. And then you kiss him on the forehead and you thank them for giving him a gift. That's what they say. Okie dokie. Tanya would like to know if her bestie has any messages for her because she sure misses her. I don't know if you have a picture of her up, Tanya, but she says, "Where's that picture of me?" No idea. You might have a really nice picture of her that you don't have up or that you're not. She's trying to come in and be funny. Like, "Oh, girlfriend." That she's not saying, "Oh, girlfriend," but she's trying to come in and be give you poop. Yeah, kind of give you poop, but in a loving, caring, nothing has changed between us kind of way. I know that's what she's trying to convey. She also wants you to know that she's okay. She also knows that this is much harder for you than it is for her because she knows where she is. She also wants you to make a set for her. Like a whole thing, all you know how shoes can be named after a person, or I'll buy makeup because it has like a name on it that I like, something like that. It's something like that, like the her collection of some sort. And she says, "You know what to do." She also I don't know if she had kids or somebody else. She says, "Act as me." So she's trying to let you know that she wants you to ah, kind of be her when she is not there, or be a representative of her. She's putting her finger on her nose. It's more like a representative of her, like you would say the things that she would say. And I actually think you can channel her. I think actually when she says you can say the things she would say, she can actually stand behind you or beside you and say, and then you can actually, "Oh, okay, that's what she's saying." So if when you're dealing with her loved ones or mutual loved ones, possibly your partner or her kids, and you pop out with stuff and they look at you weird, just know you got that from her. Because we're all able to channel our own people because they want to communicate with us. That's why I exist. completely. Okay. I hope that helps. Also, I thank you. Maybe you already have made a set for her. Maybe you already have a collection of stuff that has to do with her. Okie dokie. Now, Danielle. Okie dokie. Well, that's a lot of things in the sentence, actually. Wondering about what's going on the other side. I think you mean just you personally. I am going to assume, actually, because, and a lot of the people that I am seeing that are watching over you are people that you have not yet met. A lot of them. So, it's interesting when I go into your head, Danielle, it almost looks like you've always known that people were watching over you, but you weren't quite sure who they were. And because I think for certain you know that there are people on the other side that watch over you, but I actually think you are able to know that your spirit guides are around, because I'm seeing a similar sort of thing as to it's like people are watching me. And I always knew, and I used to actually personify them in a different kind of way than I do now, because now I actually see that, oh, those are spirit guides, and not just things in my head. But I kind of think that you've always known that somebody is looking down, not down upon you, that somebody is observing your moves with an idea in mind for themselves, or just to observe your moves. Um, Okie dokie. Another way too of knowing who is who when you actually hear from people in your family is the person who comes to mind. I know when I find a dime and I'll look at the dime, and then I'll get a flash of somebody in that I know who's crossed over, and boom, I know, okay, they left the dime. Or they are connected to the leaving of the dime. And sometimes I'll get more than one. And sometimes I get more than one because one has actually helped the other leave the dime, or because they come in pairs. My cousin and my grandfather come together all the time. They started when my cousin first crossed over, and they've just continued to. And I think that's wonderful, because that lets me know that my cousin's with my grandfather's with my cousin, and they're taking care of each other on the other side. I veer off. The way that I can actually answer your question, because it is kind of an ambiguous question, is everyone you think is. That's how they want you to know. Whoever pops in your head, I see it visually. You might actually hear it. You might actually just get a sense of it, or a feeling, or even actually a smell. So pay attention to those things, and that way you will know actually who is watching over you. But I do think it's a little bit of spirit guide activity that you've noticed as well. Okie dokie. Oh, okay. I'm actually, the first thing I hear is, of course it did. And actually, your mom and dad, they show themselves being in the doorway, like the Three Stooges, when they're trying to get through the doorway at exactly the same time to be the one who gets the dog first. They also, so I'm assuming that when you let your dog go, you were with your dog and you got to see them. There's something about them looking up, your mom says. Your mom, they always show Yorkies when it's a little dog, and golden retrievers when it's a big dog. I have no clue why, because Yorkie I kind of get, because I had a Yorkie poo, but golden retriever never had one. Anywho, they show the dog laying on its side ready to go, and then doing one last look up, and that's your mom saying, I'm coming to get her. Now, okie dokie, your mom wants me to let you, she's showing me this, she looks like a villain on the Bond film, just petting the dog, petting the dog. She also tells me she's going to take better care of the dog than you did. I think she means that completely lovingly, like in a, ha, I got your puppy sort of way. And your mom also says, we will let you know when it's time to get another one. And actually, because It's weird. Dogs actually talk. But right now, your dog is still, it's a new place. And I think it recognizes your mother due to your smell a little bit, but it's a transition. And okie dokie. I don't know that your dog really wanted to leave, but knew it had to leave because of the husk not no longer being able to house the soul. Let's put it this way: the right decision was made. 110%. And I don't know if your dog got little shiveries or seizures or something like that, but it's all over now. And I hope your dad gets a chance to hold your dog because he's kind of waiting in the wings to do so. But your moms are like that. So I hope that helps, Christina. Okie dokie. Gosh, I would really love to keep going, but I don't know if I can keep going and still give you guys what you deserve and still be the best psychic I could possibly be, because after a while it all does start to melt. Um, and honestly, I'd stay here till Monday. People kept asking questions because I would. And I thank you. I thank everyone who came. Everyone, I hope that everyone whom I answered, I gave you an answer that you can understand and that you can move with. I also hope very, very strongly that other folks who listen to answers that were given to other people were able to get some ideas and things for themselves if I wasn't able to answer a question for you. Please know that I will be back. If not next week, the week after. Next week, it could be Aaron and I don't know, but we'll see. But we'll still be a live stream at 3:30, whether it's me, Aaron, just me, we want to keep it consistent for you. So I can be reached at Trinity Yoga and Spiritual Services.com. That's my website, Trinity Yoga and Spiritual Services.com. There you can book readings or read more about me, or I'm on YouTube. If some of you are watching me on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. Some of you are watching me on Facebook. Well, I'm on both of those if you're watching me on the other. I hope that you guys all have a great day. I thank you endlessly for showing up and coming to my live feed. And I will be back because I had ever so much fun. And I hope you did too. I welcome your feedback. I welcome your comments. I welcome anything else you would like to say. All right. Thank you so very, very, very much for coming to our live stream. We will be back next week, Sunday at 3:30. I'll let you know what we're going to do. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. Bye.